CTV News with Angela Mackenzie.
Good evening. Oliver Jones was laid to rest today. His funeral was held at the church that was at the center of his life. Today, people paid their last respects to the man known as the son of Little Burgundy. Matt Gilmore reports.
It was a service that mirrored the life he lived, filled with music and soul. Friends, family, and a community in mourning, together to bid farewell to Oliver Jones.
The pride of the community is based on how Oliver and Oscar and the Petersons and the Joneses have left a very reflective spark.
Hundreds filled the Union United Church, with many more watching from the street outside. A show of respect and gratitude from the people he touched.
You know, there's pictures of him with presidents of the United States, with prime ministers of Canada and so on, kings and queens, you know, different parts of the world. But a humble, very humble soul, strong soul also. So went and never got to his head, came back and still stayed the same person he is. So he's an example for all of us.
I am mourning an angel.
In her tribute, Jones's wife said he may no longer be by her side, but he's always with her.
Give me the courage to transpose in a noble and peaceful key the immensity of our love into the eternity of our love.
For the man who was there beside Jones for every step of his glittering career, it was his ability to connect that set him apart.
He had the warmth and ability to get at you and make you feel like you were there. He was playing for you. And that's a very unique, special talent, you know.
But it was this church that held Jones's heart. It's where he started playing piano at 5 years old, taught by Judith Sweeney's mother, Daisy Peterson Sweeney.
Oliver Jones was a fantastic human being. He was a humanitarian. He represented his community well, and he never forgot where he came from. We've lost, you know, Oscar Peterson, Daisy Peterson Sweeney, now Oliver Jones. But their legacy will never be forgotten.
The music of the years gone by.
Matt Gilmore, CTV News.
Most provinces have agreed to put U.S. alcohol back on store shelves, but Quebec is one of the holdouts. Premier Christine Fréchette says she wants to know more about the proposed deal first. But even if American spirits are back, will Quebecers buy in? Kelly Gregg reports.
It's been a year and a half since American booze was pulled from SAQ shelves. Now, after an ask from the Prime Minister, it appears it'll be back.
As part of this agreement, he asked all of the provinces, as a sign of good faith, would we put U.S. liquor back on our shelves, and we all agreed.
Well, not quite all. Premier Christine Fréchette saying she needs to analyze the Canada-U.S. trade deal first.
And if it's globally positive, it is possible that we put back the alcohol on the shelves of the SAQ, but we need first to have the analysis.
And it's not just the Premier who's hesitant to have American alcohol back. Many shoppers we spoke to say even if it is available, they're not buying in.
I will never drink any American alcohol.
I don't sit well with the current U.S. administration, so I would most likely like to keep pressuring in that way.
I think the fact that we decided to put them off the shelves is a good thing in retaliation to the tariffs and everything. So I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't.
We don't have to buy it.
Since the provincial ban on U.S. alcohol, Quebec wines have exploded in popularity. The SAQ confirms over the past year, sales jumped 70%. Though some Quebecers still say the American products are hard to beat.
They have good wine, especially from California.
Yeah, I would.
How come?
Because they have good wines.
I just kind of love it. Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good, so yeah, why not?
If they have a good bourbon, why not?
With the details of the deal still being hammered out in Washington, there's no word from Quebec on if or when the booze will be back. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
A Quebec City nurse is calling for better safety measures after she was badly beaten by a patient in the psychiatric ward at the CHU de Québec Université Laval Hospital.
Fracture du nez, multiples contusions, légère commotion cérébrale.
Patsy Van Dam says she suffered a broken nose and was badly bruised. She says the patient began attacking a colleague, so she stepped in to help. That's when she was punched multiple times and says the patient tried to strangle her. Van Dam says panic buttons in the unit don't always work and says there's no longer a dedicated security guard due to budget cuts. In a statement to Nouveau Info, the hospital says security guards aren't assigned to specific units but make regular rounds through all departments. Well, pharmacists in Quebec will soon be able to refill prescriptions without limit. The Health Ministry announced the scope of their practice will be expanded starting December 9th. They'll also have greater autonomy in treating certain conditions such as lice, respiratory infections, and shingles, and they'll be able to manage additional chronic conditions, including generalized anxiety disorder. A 22-year-old man was shot and killed in broad daylight, and Montreal police believe he was targeted. Officers responded to several 911 calls reporting gunshots just before noon at the corner of Carmel and Henri-Julien Avenues in the Plateau Montreal borough. When they arrived on the scene, they found a 22-year-old man with multiple gunshot wounds in the driver's seat of a pickup truck. Police arrested a 17-year-old nearby who has yet to be charged. The investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, the man who police say was a suspect in a murder in Saint Michel over the weekend has died. A 44-year-old woman was killed on Saturday in an apartment on 9th Avenue near Cramazie. A man found at the same location with apparent self-inflicted stab wounds was taken to hospital and was in a coma. Today, police said he died of his injuries. Well, some people living in Greenfield Park are fed up. Garbage is piling up around their homes, and they say their landlord is doing nothing about it. Matt Grillo reports.
It's something you might expect around moving day. But for residents living in Greenfield Park, a pile of garbage like this has become the norm.
The trash accumulates at a rapid rate. Every time we walk by, there's something new, not just in the garbage cans.
Many of the homes here are part of a complex called Terrace, Riopel, and Campbell, owned by a numbered company. If you walk around, you'll see a lot of garbage piled up in the alleyways behind the homes. There's furniture, like this couch, TVs, and large household items. Residents say it's become unsightly.
It's now a health and safety issue. There's animals that have started living in some of them, making rats' nests and other things, bugs, who knows what else is in them.
She admits tenants have a responsibility of not dumping their trash, but she says the landlord does little to help, not even informing tenants of the rules.
Walking here, I saw a couch over here, and then on the other side there was a mattress. Like, it's just all over the place.
CTV News reached out to the owner of the complex several times, but we have not received a response to our request. We also visited their office, but no one answered. In a lengthy statement to CTV News, the city of Longueuil said it conducted an inspection of the area on August 17th, and a ticket will be given to the owner. Longueuil says it has intervened several times in recent years, and the owner restored the property to good condition each time. The city also said this matter is a priority for the inspections department until the situation is resolved. The city also plans to contact the property owner shortly to identify a long-term solution and prevent these situations from recurring.
Your neighborhood is an extension of your home, and it's really sad that it's come to this.
Residents say garbage is just one issue in a long list of maintenance problems.
I've been living here for more than 27 years, and I said in the
the last 5 years is the worst it's ever been. Seeing our home and our family and our community crumble, it is absolutely heartbreaking for all of us. And we want it fixed.
Unsure of what their next step is, residents hope by speaking out, their landlord will clean up their complex. Matt Grillo, CTV News, Longueuil.
A new report says the average wait time in Quebec emergency rooms is up by 41 minutes after 8 years of CAQ government. The Montreal Economic Institute got its information through an access to information request. The report says a lack of staff is at least partially to blame for the longer wait times. The Institute says Quebec should allow more private health care to give the system more flexibility.
One of the promising new initiatives that has been proposed is Alberta's adoption of mixed practice. Now, this is where a physician can work in a public system, but also do overtime in a private system if they choose to. This is something that's been tried in Denmark, and the data shows that the physicians that do this work just as long in a public setting. They do as much overtime hours, as many on-call hours in the public system, but they also add 5 hours a week, those that choose to do it, of course, on average, in the private setting. Well, what this does essentially is it leads to more patients being able to see doctors, being able to get the treatment they need.
In a statement to CTV News, Santé Quebec says it's concerned with the wait times and blames the more complicated demands of health care with an aging population. Well, another CAQ cabinet minister has decided not to run in the upcoming election. Transport Minister Benoit Charette says he is leaving politics for family reasons. He was first elected in 2008 in the riding of De Montagne as a member of the PQ, then joined the CAQ. More than 30 CAQ MNAs have said they won't run again. Well, former Premier François Legault has announced that his mother, Pauline Chatin, has died. He shared the news on social media and he thanked his mother for making him the person he is today. Chatin was born and raised in Pointe Claire and spent her adult life in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. She was 97 years old. PWHL hockey teams are hosting summer camps. The week the Victoire are still running a skills camp at the Dollard Civic Center. Christine Long was there.
Training tips from a Walter Cup winning coach.
They're gonna go shoot on the net.
Stick handling with your favorite forward. 85 players from House League to Elite, aged 12 to 16, are attending the Victoire summer camp.
I just love that, like, get to meet some really good players and make new friends and improve a lot.
Alexandra Labelle says she would have loved an experience like this as a young player.
Lucky to be like around just girls and just having a camp, and also a camp where like it's a team, a women's team who organized that, and a professional team. So when I was younger, I didn't have this chance. So yes, I can see me like dreaming like when I was younger and like look at their eyes and they are so happy to be there. It makes me really happy.
The PWHL says they saw a 500% increase in demand for their hockey programming last season, and they're growing what they call grassroots hockey.
Winning the Walter Cup definitely increases eyes on the sport, on our players. Just as in general, the PWHL is obviously still in a building phase right now. We're going into season 4, and we have an opportunity to help grow the entire game.
Parents paid $425 each for their players to have an unforgettable week.
Well, the drill is you go maybe against some girls that are older than you, and well, you just want to like compete, so you go to the max.
With 4 new PWHL teams joining the league this coming season, nurturing new talent is good planning.
Future players, they're a little young right now. We're running a camp. I don't think we're out here scouting, but we're certainly always keeping our eyes on the future generation.
Perhaps some future PWHL players right here. Christine Long, CTV News.
The 23rd Caring for Kids Radiothon was held today. The event raised nearly $1.5 million for the Montreal Children's Hospital. Anastasia Dextrine reports.
At just 3 years old, Valentina Mello has fought a battle that no child should have to face. She was diagnosed with kidney cancer at the tender age of 18 months.
But World Cup crashing down on you, and you think that this is going to take a toll on everybody, and it does.
The journey brought the family to the Montreal Children's Hospital. That's where Valentina's father, Adolfo Mello, says a genetic mutation was identified as the cause of diagnosis. They learned both Valentina's kidneys would ultimately be at risk, so she was treated with a transplant that would change her life.
They operated me. The operation is side by side. It's a very big operation. But as the days go by and we see her better and better, we're actually getting happier and happier.
Thanks to a kidney from Dad and the hospital's team, Adolfo says his daughter has a second chance. They're one of many families that have benefited from the Children's Hospital over the years. Dr. Lucio Pacini is the CEO of the McGill University Health Center and says money raised through the annual Caring for Kids Radiothon has a lot to do with patient success.
Donations allow us to go from ordinary to extraordinary care. It's allowed us to recruit world-class experts in, for example, interventional cardiology and childhood diseases, or scientists that lead us to world-class discoveries in genetics.
The Caring for Kids Radiothon has raised more than $33.5 million over its 23 years. The grand total raised this year was $1,425,921. With each ring is another contribution to the hospital's Healthy Kids Fund. And that's what volunteer Eric Birnbaum says keeps him coming back.
The people answering the phones enjoy it just as much as the people who are giving, because the people who are calling want to donate. The people who are answering the phones are very happy to do it.
Same goes for the radio teams, including CJAD 800 host Aaron Rand.
To see all the volunteers who come out here year after year and to hear the stories and realize what incredible work is done here at the Children's, beyond just, treating people, the research, the science, the fact that we are blessed to have a world-class institution in the city is remarkable.
It's an institution and an effort made stronger by a community that continues to show up for children each year. Anna Sazadek-Streen, CTV News.
Drivers will want to plan ahead this weekend. There are a number of road closures, including part of the Champlain Bridge. The southbound lane of the Champlain will be closed starting Friday at 11 p.m. until Monday at 5 a.m. It'll be messy if you're trying to get on Nuns Island, but there will be detours in place. The closure will also affect a number of exits and entry ramps around the Turcotte interchange, including Highway 20 eastbound heading towards the 15 and the De la Vérandre entrance from the 15 south. We have full details on our website, ctvnewsmontreal.ca. When we return, is a mystery man in the Netherlands a missing Canadian? Earlier this week, Dutch authorities released a video of a mystery man, asking whether anyone in Canada might be able to identify him. Now, Vancouver police are linking him to a cold case. Andrew Johnson reports.
This is the man known as Lucky. He spends his days in a nursing home ever since he suffered a stroke on the streets of Amsterdam 3 years ago. He woke up in the hospital diagnosed with aphasia, a language disorder that left him unable to speak. His identity, say Dutch investigators, a mystery.
Geen pasjes, geen niks. De politie staat voor een raadsel. Hoe achterhaal je de identiteit van iemand die niet kan vertellen wie hij is?
Dutch police went looking for information, people who knew Lucky, and began to piece together his past.
Schat helemaal rijk zijn, maar tegelijkertijd zwieren wij door de straat in Amsterdam.
He was known in the local Buddhist community and regularly frequented a nearby market and restaurants. Lucky was also known by several other names, including Chris the Canadian. Still stumped, Dutch investigators posted the story to social media, and someone online made this connection. Lucky looks a lot like Vancouver missing man John Russell Kenny. He lost contact with his family 33 years ago and would now be 67.
They definitely look similar, but again, 30 years can do a lot to a person.
The Vancouver Police Missing Person Unit is now collaborating with their counterparts in the Netherlands and Interpol.
This is definitely a unique experience, especially it's on the international platform, so we are always excited to help. And if this does in fact be him, would be exciting news.
Vancouver police have provided fingerprints that will now be compared with Lucky's to see if they're a match. On VPD's cold case website, Kenny is described as someone who suffered from mental health issues and was transient in nature. Dutch police have no idea how he may have managed to live under the radar in Amsterdam for decades. Hopefully, they may have some answers soon. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are moving back to the UK. Today, the British Prime Minister was asked about who will pay for the couple's security.
Well, this is a private matter. It's a matter for Harry and for Meghan, and we wish them well in the move that they're making.
The couple lost their police protection after they stepped down from royal duties in 2020. Harry then challenged the matter in court and lost. The couple is said to be moving to a private residence outside London later this month, and the King has said there will be no change to their status as non-working members of the royal family. Well, with a quartet of Beatles biopics currently in production, a rights company representing the Fab Four has signed a new merchandising deal.
Love me do. You know I love you.
Apple Corps Limited and Universal Music Group said they'd reached a long-term global partnership related to the Beatles. The deal with UMG covers worldwide physical and digital merchandise, licensing, and e-commerce on behalf of the band. The announcement comes as director Sam Mendes is working on the Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event. The movies will tell the story of each band member, with Harris Dickinson playing John Lennon, Paul Mescal playing Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn as George Harrison. They're expected to debut in 2028. Well, today marks 10 years since a major moment in Canadian music and culture. On this day in 2016, the Tragically Hip played its final show from Kingston, Ontario.
Gord, first thing he said after Kingston, backstage, he was like, that felt like the last show. And he was right. That did feel like the last show.
The band posted this emotional tribute marking the anniversary to social media. The final show was broadcast live across the country, and more than 400 public screenings were held from coast to coast. In late 2015, frontman Gord Downie was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. He died in October of the following year. Up next, a familiar face is making a comeback. The child star from a wildly successful YouTube video is back. The young artist appeared in the music video 10 years ago when he was just 7 years old, and that was the most watched video in YouTube history. He's now 17 years old, and he's launching his solo K-pop career under the name Baby Shark Boy.
Weather brought to you by Gratian Scaff. Second pair is a gift event including designer frames. A second pair free for a limited time.
Well, this Thursday started off with a little bit of an eerie situation. I snapped a photo early this morning around 6 a.m. and take a look at this. It was quite foggy and muggy out, and even the trees are a little bit creepy. So it's a preview of the autumn forecast to come. Now, tomorrow we will see more sunshine, so that's something to look forward to, especially as we head into the weekend. Saturday's also looking great. Let's put our futurecast into motion and see what we're looking at overnight. Clear skies, and that makes sense because we start our Friday off with sunshine. Into the afternoon, we could see a few clouds move in, but overall we are forecasting mostly sunny skies. And then we'll see clearing overnight as we head into Saturday, where we're expecting yet again another day with sunshine. So overnight we do have clear skies and a low right around where it should be, 14 degrees. We start tomorrow off with that sunshine. 16 will be our wake-up temperature. We are forecasting a daytime high of 25 degrees, so that's where we should be this time of the year. There's a slight humidex factor tomorrow. It'll feel like 29, not like mid-30s like we saw earlier on in the summer. Here's what the longer range forecast has in store for us. Saturday, once again, mostly sunny skies, 27 degrees, but it'll feel like 32. At this time, it looks like we could have a risk of a thunderstorm on Sunday. We could see around 9 millimeters of rain there. The high that day is only 23, but the humidex will make it feel like 32. So that's another muggy day that we have in our future. Come Monday, once again, a risk of thunderstorms, only 21 degrees there. 1 millimeter of rain to start the day on Tuesday, 22, and we start to see our temperatures bounce back to where they should be. Wednesday and Thursday, we're calling for a mix of sun and clouds, and 25 degrees. Now, it looks like on Thursday there is a slight risk of some showers later in the day. We could see around 2 millimeters of rain.
That's it for us. For the latest news, you can listen to the Andrew Carter Morning Show at 5 on CJD 800 or head to ctvnewsmontreal.ca. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.